The ocean. I don't know. Something about it just pisses me off. And not in like a, I must destroy it kind of way. More so just a bunch of stuff about it rubs me the wrong way to the point where it annoys me a lot. Maybe it's the fact that such huge storms are formed over the ocean. The fact that I lived in Florida for a long ass time definitely didn't help with that. Maybe it's the fact that it's just so vast and deep that we just don't even know what the hell is even down there. Like, I've read a bunch of creepypastas and no-sleep stories about some crap that we don't even know about being down there. And, of course, by read, I mean listening to someone else narrate them while I was cranking 90s in Fortnite. Basically, my whole high school experience in a nutshell right there. But back on topic. But I think the thing that pisses me off the most about the Earth's oceans is all the weird, ugly, disgusting, and downright alien creatures that call the ocean home. I mean, if you looked at some of those sea creatures that got swimming around down there, some of those bastards look like downright demons. Like, this is the reason H.P. Lovecraft said that Cthulhu lived in a city in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Because there are really creatures down there that could rival the bastard in appearance. So to vent my irrational frustration, I'd like to show you some of these creatures and explain why exactly they boil my blood so much. This exercise will probably also show you just how much of a mistake evolution was. Because trust me, ain't no loving God would willingly bring creatures like this into the world. An asshole one might, but not a loving one. Let's start off with our first creature, the anglerfish. First of all, just look at this fucking thing. It's horrifying! Thank God these fuckers live on the bottom of the ocean, because if I saw one of these on the surface while on the beach or something, I'm pulling the Glock out. Not to mention, the way that they eat is also kind of terrifying. They have this filament that sticks out of their head with this nasty ass flesh growth on the end, which can sometimes emit light. And they use that shit to lure their prey close enough to gobble them up in one bite. Multiple things I hate about this. For one, it vores its prey. That poor fish or shrimp might still be alive after the damn thing ate it. That's nasty! Not to mention, I know some of you freaks out there would probably be into something like that. Second of all, this seems like just such a cowardly way to find and eat its prey. Like, you see sharks and killer whales fighting and searching for their prey in the open water, and they have the courtesy to at least kill the prey before fully devouring it. They don't have to hide in the dark like a bitch and try to lure a poor fishy into its mouth hole. The shark is, by comparison, a noble warrior and fighter, while the anglerfish is a sniveling coward. Are you really getting this pissed off over a fish? I'm sorry, whose video is this again? It's my goddamn video, and I'm here to talk about fish that piss me off. And this fish pisses me off! Next up, let's talk about the sunfish. First off, I hate every goddamn thing about its appearance. I don't like its dopey ass size. I don't like how it looks like it was squashed by an industrial press into a pancake. And what the hell is with those tail fins back there? Does he think he's a 747? Does he think he's the Challenger shuttle? I fucking wish these things would go the way of the Challenger shuttle. By the way, fun fact, did you know that Big Bird from Sesame Street was originally supposed to be on the Challenger shuttle? Can you imagine what the world would look like if that shit actually happened? Anyways, back to the ugly stupid poo-poo head fish. The second thing I hate about them is their size. Now, you would expect a fish that looks as stupid as this to be relatively small, right? But no, these things are fucking massive! I mean, just look at this fucking thing. It's almost as big as a damn person. Hell, some of the largest ones are almost as big as a damn shark. What the fuck? Third thing that pisses me off, they actually thrive in the wild. Yeah, I wouldn't have assumed this ugly piece of shit would be capable of not only surviving, but thriving in the wild. Apparently those airplane fins on the back mean that these things can swim away from predators pretty damn fast. Not to mention, they have a very thick and tough skin, so even attempting to take a bite out of them is a challenge. And they're capable of rapidly descending to the ocean floor for food. Fucking bottom feeders, of course. What else would you expect from these assholes? But they don't eat exclusively on the bottom. Yep, they eat shit from many levels of the ocean, meaning a diverse source of food for them. And after they've had their meal, they just come up to the surface to bask in the sun. Look at him. That's the face of a fish who thinks he's hot shit. Disgusting. If I see one of these dickheads flopping around on the surface of the sea, fuck the Glock, I'm gonna have to pull out the damn RPG to even get a lick of damage on this thing. Third fish I'm gonna talk about is the blobfish. Now, I'm actually going to be defending the blobfish because it's gotten a bit of an undeserved reputation. You've probably seen infamous images like this before. And if something like this did in fact look like this, then I would have some serious problems. However, this is not what the blobfish looks like in its natural habitat. This is what it looks like in the ocean. As you can see, it just looks like a normal fish. It ain't the prettiest thing in the world, but it's also not hideously ugly like some of the previous ones. So what the hell is going on here? You see, the blobfish's natural habitat is typically close to the sea floor, which can range anywhere from 1 to 2 miles under the sea. And I'm not sure if you know anything about the ocean at those depths, but there's a lot of water pressure. So much so that if you aren't careful, you might end up getting the old Stockton Rush special down there. If you didn't know what I meant by that, you'd get crushed like goddamn Flat Stanley at those depths. However, the blobfish is able to survive down there, but the problem comes when people catch the poor thing and bring it to the surface. Because there is such an enormous pressure difference between its natural habitat and the surface, its body ends up expanding and becoming all bloated and shit because of the pressure difference. Essentially like the reverse of the Titanic submersible. The thing also dies because it can't breathe outside the water, in case you didn't know. People really took this thing from its natural habitat up to the surface, saw it get all expanded and bloated because of the pressure difference, and started making fun of it. Like, haha, look at that ugly ass fish, isn't it so crazy? No, not really. The thing isn't supposed to be up here. Put him back, he's dying, come on, what's wrong with you people? And the fact that people make fun of the blobfish for being so hideously ugly is crazy to me, when much more worthy candidates for this treatment like the sunfish and anglerfish exist as well. So the next time you laugh at one of those funny blobfish images, just remember that you're really laughing at a poor fish that's been stolen from its natural habitat and is probably suffering or dead. You ignorant bitch. But back to the creatures that actually piss me off. How about that colossal squid, eh? Now, squids are already kind of on thin ice for me. Like, why the fuck do they have beaks like a goddamn bird, huh? Shit ain't right. But the colossal squid is just a bridge too far for me. Why the fuck do the squids need to be so goddamn big? Apparently the max length of these things can be over 30 feet long. Awesome. That is more than 5 6-foot tall guys laid out horizontally. That's great. Their prey includes something called the Antarctic toothfish. And looking at a picture of it, I say let them fight. It says here they might also be cannibalistic as well. Great. We got giant cannibal squids roaming around our oceans. Awesome. Just awesome. Thankfully, these things live all the way down near Antarctica, so I won't have to deal with their asses anytime soon. And that's why the northern hemisphere is better than the southern hemisphere. Don't forget it, kids. Actually, let's go back to that Antarctic toothfish for a second. The fuck did they mean by toothfish? Oh, hell no! It's got teeth? Fuck that shit. It's definitely on site now. Actually, that's the next one on the list. Fish that got teeth. And I'm not including sharks in this because obviously they gotta have teeth. But some of these fish, man, they're just disgusting. One infamous fish with teeth are piranhas. And yeah, they're pretty damn disgusting in fact. And the fact that they're so damn aggressive and love meat makes them super scary. But would you like to meet the natural predator of the piranha? Meet the Payara. That's right, this fucker eats the infamous piranhas, and it does so by skewering them with those big ass teeth it's got. This fucker is pretty scary looking, and I would absolutely be racist against this thing if it could talk. However, it does eat the other scary toothy fish, so that does make it slightly less bad. Still very creepy to look at. Next up is the lingcod. Whoo boy, look at the maw on that fucker. It's like it can pass for a Star Wars creature or something. Also doesn't help that it has these big black eyes that just stare into your soul. And they can get pretty long too. And their natural habitat seems to be the entire west coast of North America. From Baja California down in Mexico all the way up to Alaska. These fuckers are just out there. Lurking, stalking, waiting for some small child to get close enough to strike. Okay, they probably don't actually eat children, but I'd believe it if they did. Just look at the damn thing. That's the face of a child eater if I've ever seen one. Now, the last toothy fish that I would like to talk about is something called the sheep's head fish. No clue why the hell you would name it something like that. Now, if you just looked at the fish, it doesn't look too out of the ordinary, and you would be right. But dear viewer, you do remember that I said this thing had teeth, don't you? Well then, let's just pry open that mouth and see what... Why does this goddamn thing have human teeth? I mean, I would get it if it had sharp teeth for eating other fish, but why does its teeth look like mine? Oh god, there's multiple rows of the fucking things. Oh, it just gets worse and worse the more you look at it. Listen, all I'm saying is, some species should just go extinct. You can't just wait for a species to go extinct just because it looks ugly. Bitch! I'm an American. If I see some ugly creature, I have an instinctual reaction to kill. I can't help it, it's in my blood. But one last note on this hideous blight upon the earth. I do like the illustration shown for it on the Wikipedia page. Just looks like such a dweeb. If I saw this motherfucker out there on the coral reefs, I'd take its goddamn lunch money. Now let's talk about sharks for a second. I've gassed up sharks a few times in this video, but there are certainly some kinds of them that do piss me off. For instance, the kind that live for an absurd amount of time. Like, some of these fuckers live for literally hundreds of years. These fish are living for centuries. For no reason! Like, what the fuck are they doing down there with all that time? Like, take this motherfucker, the Greenland shark. This guy lives for 500 years. That's right, 500 years. 5 centuries. Some of these fuckers have literally been around since the goddamned Renaissance. And they've lived through it all. They've lived through the colonization of the Americas starting in the 16th century. They've been around to see Magellan circumnavigate the world for the very first time. They saw countless empires rise and fall. They've seen dynasties be established and subsequently wiped out and lost in the dustbin of history. The American Revolution fights for freedom across Latin America. The scramble for Africa. The Opium Wars. The American Civil War. World War I. The Spanish Flu. The Great Depression. World War II. The advent of the nuclear bomb. Penicillin. The fall of the Soviet Union. And the internet. They've been around to witness all of it. And what have these Greenland sharks been doing with all that time? Eating fish and eels up in the Arctic. Like, come the fuck on. It doesn't need to live that goddamn long. Not to mention, they don't even reach sexual maturity until after 150 years. So a Greenland shark that was born in the 1870s is just now reaching sexual maturity. Imagine having to wait a century and a half just to bust. Absolute travesty. But the Greenland shark isn't the worst offender when it comes to absurdly long lifespans. No, 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 no. The worst offender is something called a hydra. If you are unaware, a hydra is a small jellyfish-like creature that lives in tropical waters. It's called a hydra because, much like the mythological monster it is named after, if one of its body parts gets severed, it just grows on back. But the thing that pisses me off the most about these fuckers is that, according to observations by marine scientists, they don't age and they can't die of old age either. The fact that something on this earth is able to harness the power of immortality and that it's a tiny, stupid fucking jellyfish makes me want to crash the fuck out. I would rather we just live in a world where immortality was just impossible, and we all knew it. But no! Here comes this stupid fucking jellyfish just to taunt us with the fact that it can't die. And you want to know what the worst part is? It looks like a dick. It looks like a damn scrotum! Just to add insult to injury. Yeah, I'm basically immortal. Yeah, I look like a penis. What are you gonna do about it? I'll fucking tell you what I'm gonna do about it. I'll fuck! Anyways, you guys like seals, don't you? I mean, who couldn't just look at their derpy little faces forever? Makes you want to squish them and take them home with you. Well, how do you like this seal? Yeah, not so cute and cuddly now, is it? This is a leopard seal, people, and those teeth make them look like demons. And do you know what they use those sharp teeth for? Why, of course, they use it to eat cute little penguins of all sorts. But they don't stop there. They even eat other species of seals. Of course, why wouldn't they eat their own cousins? Look into those old dead eyes. The eyes of a true psychopath. And these fuckers are pretty big too. They can grow to over 11 feet long, and that's about as long as a walrus. But they aren't nearly as fat as one, and not nearly as endearing either. And you wanna know what's even scarier? they've been known to stalk and even attack humans in the wild. And when looking at the size of these things compared to a person, you better make sure you either have a firearm or a good relationship with whatever god you worship, because you ain't coming out of that encounter without at least a few puncture wounds otherwise. I love the big scary seal with sharp teeth that has no qualms about potentially killing me. Yay! Speaking of animals that kill, the swordfish. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that the swordfish actually looks pretty badass. I mean, it has a big sharp object on its face. What's not to like about it? But swordfish, especially the really big ones, can be really fucking scary. Why do I say this? Because there are a bunch of videos that you can find of swordfish just jumping out of the water and stabbing people on boats. Like, holy shit. Can you imagine that you're just chilling on your fishing boat with the boys, and then all of a sudden a huge ass fucking marlin just jumps out of the water and drives its nose into your chest? Like, what the fuck? And then in some of the videos, it just flops its ass back in the water like it was nothing. No apology, no nothing. Like, fuck. This pisses me off that it can just do that, but also kind of puts it up in sheer badassery. So I'm kind of torn on this one. But one creature that I am not torn on is the final creature that we shall be talking about today. But don't worry, I saved the worst for last. The ocean creature that pisses me off the most would have to be the pelican. Okay, technically it isn't a sea creature. It's just a creature that lives by the sea, but close enough, right? Now these things are demons. This creature's demonry might not be evident at first glance. Compared to things like the leopard seal and the anglerfish, it doesn't have an outwardly demonic appearance. But don't let that dopey expression fool you. Behind those eyes is a thirst for blood. And I say this because pelicans are the cockroaches of birds, because they eat anything. Allow me to explain. You see, pelicans are usually supposed to eat fish. Usually. But that doesn't mean they can't acquire tastes for other foods. Such as whole-ass other birds. Yes, you can find countless videos of pelicans attempting to eat ducks and other birds. And you see the poor duck just struggling inside of the pelican's mouth. But that fucker ain't letting it go anytime soon. I don't even know if it can swallow a duck whole. It certainly doesn't have any teeth to mash it up and kill it, so it would have to swallow it whole. There are more videos of other birds that pelicans have attempted to eat. Hell, I've seen these fuckers try to swallow members of their own species by the head. Fucking cannibal birds. Just like the damn giant squids. Except I actually had to fucking look at it in real life. But the worst video I've seen of a pelican was where one of these fucking demon birds ate a tiny little duckling. Oh, you don't believe me? You don't think that any creature could be so heartless, so cruel, so demonic that it would eat a cute little baby duckling? You should really know better by now. Roll the video. This fucking creature, this thing, ate that tiny little duckling. This ain't one of God's creatures, man. This is one of Satan's creatures. Call your demon back to hell, Satan! I beg of you, rid us of these hellspawns that dare call our mortal plane home. Lord have mercy! If I see one of these goddamn hellspawns in real life, I'm going to make sure it knows the suffering that it has wrought upon this world. If I had it my way, we wouldn't eat turkeys on Thanksgiving or Christmas. We'd be eating pelican. I swear, we are eating the wrong damn bird. Kill them with fire. Well, that's about all I have for you today, folks. I hope I was able to effectively convey my sheer, unbridled hatred towards many of Mother Nature's greatest mistakes. I hope that you had some fun, and hey, maybe you even learned a thing or two about these things. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't let the pelicans bite. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think I'm gonna move to the Gobi Desert. Pelicans can't catch my ass there. This has been a Sojourner production.
Now watch this drive.